Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing about the design thinking tool and how it can be used in the transportation sector. Generally, when we talk about mobility and transportation, we think about ticketing, we think about buses, trains, infrastructure. But I think these technological tools are becoming more and more important. It's very important for us to look outside the transit world to learn more about these new techniques. To start with, I would like to share this interesting graph prepared by Worldline. Just after the pandemic, they shared about the essential digitalization, that how we need to use more and more technology in today's world. They mentioned about three possible scenarios. One is the business as usual. We do nothing and we go back to our old normal, which will never happen. We accept it, but not with full heart, or we accept it with full heart. We should understand that we cannot manage the current crisis assuming that we are going back to the old normal. Instead, we need to act now to prepare for the new normal. And we all know that. The new normal means new business trend, like cashless society, digital currency, omni-channel purchase. So people doesn't only need physical stores, but they need something in their phone. We need to accept the new technological trends. People are used to the deliveries. People love to speak to chat or voice bot. We want to use more and more smartphone to do our daily activities. We are okay to integrate using APIs and having a digital identity. Now, the big question is how to innovate. And I would say there are two simple things: human-centric design and design thinking. So human-centric design is the key to the quality of life in the city, putting people at the heart of urban transport planning. And to achieve human-centric design, design thinking can be a great tool for city authorities or transit operator or mobility provider to solve some of these complex challenges. The city of future should be built around the life side of the people who inhabit them. We should take care the city is inclusive, sustainable, and livable. At Mobility Innovation Lab, we actually did a podcast with Professor Niels Van Oort. He talked about the importance of human-centric design for smart public transport. I encourage you all to check out our website or our podcast link and listen to it. Also, we recently published an article which is about design thinking, how to improve mobility challenges in today's world. The good thing about this article is it's not talking about design thinking purely. It's not telling you about the theory. We actually cover 4 case studies in this article. And I would like to mention and thank Yannick, Violeta, Angel, and Madalena for sharing these case studies with us. It's not a new topic. There are many agencies which are already using it. However, it's not used widely. And the purpose of this video is to encourage the use of tool in the mobility sector. More and more agencies should come forward and accept design thinking as a way to solve some of our complex problems. It can be the problem of decarbonization in our city, the challenge of bringing people back to the public transport. Now, how to do it? So to start with, I want to share a little bit about the design thinking. There is no single definition of design thinking, but there is one simple definition from IDEO, which I really like, and I would like to share with you. IDEO did not invent design thinking, but always given credit to applying it to solving small and large problems. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation, anchored in understanding customer need, rapid prototyping, and generating creative ideas that will transform the way the organization develop products, services, and processes. By using design thinking, organization make decisions based on what customer really want, instead of relying only on the historical data, or sometimes making a risky bet based on the instinct instead of evidence. It's a process of diverging and converging. You need to create choices, and finally, you need to make choices. It is also popularized by Stanford D.school. They begin teaching design thinking as a generalized approach to the technical and social innovation in 2005, which helped to make it a mainstream tool to solve many of the complex challenges or problems we see around us. Stanford D.school created this design thinking process, which has 5 elements. It's basically start with empathizing with your customer. And then you have to define the problem, understand the pain point of the customer. The third element is to ideate so that you can list out and shortlist different solutions. The fourth step is all about making a prototype to see the idea in reality. It's not the full product, it's a MVP. And in last, you actually test and validate with your customer rather than doing something in the lab. Couple of things I want to mention here, that these are not the linear steps. And also, it's an iterative process. You have to continue and repeat the process till the time you find your final and best solution. Now, in this presentation, I want to share a little bit more about these 4 case studies which we cover in our article. The first case study is of RTCQuebec. They use design thinking process to improve their payment app. They want to improve the critical user tasks and activities. They want to develop an interactive prototype to test the usability of major task flow. And most importantly, they want to align the app user interface with the visual identity of the RTC ecosystem. In this slide, you can see the RTC Quebec follow a different process of design thinking. They spend more time on understanding the problem. After understanding, they did sketch some solution. And after finding some solution, they shortlisted the one solution which they want to go ahead. And they made a quick prototype and then they validated it with the consumer. My second example is about using the design thinking to improve user experience in public transport. This is a case study of EMTmadrid, where the researcher used the double diamond design thinking approach. Their aim was to improve the experience of bus user and was looking for a technological solution to increase the user satisfaction toward accessibility. With this approach, you can see the team created a prototype app. And the purpose of the prototype app was to tell different accessibility feature to the riders, like a wheelchair space in the bus. Is it occupied or is it free? The third example is again of EMTmadrid, where the focus was to improve the experience of user who go by the bus through the city, and focusing mainly on the elderly user with the reduced mobility and the blind and hearing impaired. And this time it's not about technology, this time about the physical infrastructure. And here the team created some prototype, some of the feature at the bus stop or within the bus can help people with special need. And you can see a same case study with the same problem can be solved with a 2 different way. The fourth case study is about a startup, UrbanGo, which is a journey planner and a payment app in USA. Here, the researcher used the D.school design thinking approach to solve the challenge. The transport user need to pay different amount to purchase the ticket going from point A to B. The purpose of this design thinking approach was to simplify the payment process for the user. Again, you can see a different problem. Using design thinking process, you can find the solution for that. Now, why design thinking? I would say it helps you to define your problem statement properly. Many of time, people don't understand what is the real problem. So design thinking can help you to find out what is the real problem your customer or your rider or your passengers are facing. It can help you to empathize with your passenger and rider. A lot of time we create solution without having empathy toward our customers. It can help you to achieve superior solutions. During the process, you will test out different solutions. And through your voting process, you can find out which is the best one suiting company's requirement and meeting customer expectations. It can lower your risk and cost. You don't need to develop the full solution to understand and solve customer challenge. With a minimal viable product, you can understand the customer need and make further investment to fully develop the product. Above all, it brings your employees buy-in. When you engage your employee in the process, they feel more empowered and you will get more innovation from them. I want to share a little bit about Mobility Innovation Lab, what we are trying to create here. The purpose of this lab is to bring all the key stakeholders together and share what is happening. We want authorities and operators to work with different startups and industry players and explore what different incubators and accelerators are doing. As well as we want to bring the angels and VC on this platform because we feel the VC put bet on some future technology. And the mission of Mobility Innovation Lab is to bring everybody together. I would like to thank you for your attention. We hope to bring some more interesting topic for you in coming weeks. We'll be sharing the link of this article and some of these resources in the show notes. Please feel free to share your feedbacks or comments with us. It will help us to improve some of the knowledge we want to share with everybody. Thank you so much for your attention.